Hey, this is Brent from TradeGuild.net, and it is the 6th of November 2008. We're looking at XLE, which is the Exchange Traded Fund ETF for the energy sector, and we're looking at a 5-day chart. The yellow line is a 50-bar moving average. Keep in mind that each bar represents a week, and the blue line is a 200-bar moving average. Back here, 2003, this is pretty much where our bull market started, and including energy, where prices just really have gone really out of control. I think this is around $10 or $15 up here, and somewhere up around 90 or more up there. In any case, you can see how we've had a really nice trend over the last several years, and now you can see how that trend has completely fallen apart, and it looks like the run in energy, the bull market run, is completely done. If we can take a little closer look here, zoom in. This is still on a 5-bar chart, and notice the breakdown. And remember, when we have a important moving average that acts as support, it will also act as resistance once it's broken. So as you can see, it was support in here, it was support in here, and over here. Once it was broken, it acted as resistance. That is because the buyers over here are now at a loss. So when money comes back up, or when the prices come back up close to where they got in, they're more than happy to sell and get out of that position at a minimal loss. So we've also broken that 200-bar moving average, and we formed something that looks a little bit like a bear flag. There's the flag. This would be the flagpole. Okay, now looking at a 1-day chart here, you can see the 50-bar. Now this is a 50-day and a 200-day moving average. You can see where it crossed over. We were talking about this energy sector breaking down about 2 weeks before it happened. Kramer was still on TV pushing oil, saying, you know, go out and buy. But they've got their own motivations. Look at this 200-bar moving average, how that acted as resistance 2 times. The 50-bar, again, acted as resistance. The huge volume. Okay, and taking a look at this crossover system that I use, you can see, remember I've talked about in the other videos, I want to see 3 things happen. The crossover of the yellow under the blue moving average over here, short under the long. The crossover of this indicator, which is actually an indicator, the blue is a moving average of it. So I want to see those 2 crossovers, and I want to see RSI, which is green here, below this 0 line, which all 3 things happened back here in July. And if we zoom out a little bit, you can see that that was the end of the bull market in energy. And looking at my 3C indicator, let's take a look at this. I'm going to show you on a long-term scale. It's in yellow, the 3C indicator. You note it's a divergence indicator, so it should move up with price in a healthy uptrend. And when it diverges from price, that shows us either accumulation or distribution. Here we are. Remember, still looking at a 3-day chart. You can see price making higher highs, higher highs, higher highs. Over here, indicator making lower highs. This signals distribution. This is the unwinding of positions, professionals selling out to the retail crowd, leaving them holding the bag. So the indicator works very well, and if you're using it, I encourage you to look at longer term charts like 3-day charts. Right now we're going to take a look at a 1-day chart, and I like to get as many confirmations as possible on this. And again, you can see as price is moving higher here, the indicator is moving down, signaling again distribution into this top. That's selling. Let's take a look at a 60-minute real quick. On the 60-minute chart, remember, nothing goes straight up, nothing goes straight down. You can see that as prices made lower lows, this indicator's actually started to make some higher lows, and we've got a little bounce over here in November. And you can also see a leading divergence over here. So it's possible that we're going to see a little bit more upside in XLE. If we want to really kind of tune it in a little bit further, we can take a look at a 10-minute chart. And on this 10-minute chart, you can see again at this top over here, we have distribution and prices falling back down. Dial it in a little bit closer. Here's a 5-minute chart. And this is just today, so if we're looking at the indicator for today, we can see accumulation. So it looks like we're going to get a little bounce. Maybe this thing runs up to $50, $51, somewhere in there is my guess. I want to show you just two other versions. Like I said, I tried to build as much evidence as possible by looking at as many charts as possible. And here we go with a 3-day chart. And again, same thing. Now this is a different formulation and it's giving us the same result, so that tends to give us some more confirmation. You can see nice healthy uptrend over here, indicators moving up like it should over here. We get to the top and this indicator is moving down. So again, distribution in the beginning of '08, the end of the energy, probably commodity trend as well. And here's the 1-day chart. Back out a little bit. 1-day chart showing a bounce over here. Looks like we're going to see a little bit of a bounce. On 60-minute chart, again, okay, we have three, almost a test really, of the lows over here. You can see the indicator moving up on each one, signaling again accumulation, accumulation, and here's our little run that we got from that accumulation. That's 60-minute chart, and I want to show you a 10-minute. On this 10-minute, over here in the top, again, we just see the distribution that preceded this slide over here. And finally, let's take a look at a 1-minute chart. In this 1-minute chart, you have to put all these things together. I mean, we have different trends. We have a long-term downtrend, short-term uptrend. So it just depends on what kind of a trader you are. But again, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, and the indicator's moving up, making higher lows. So signaling some accumulation over in this area. This is a 9-day chart. Look at this. And look how nice the indicator really moves up with price the whole time. It's confirming this uptrend the entire time until we get to the top over here and it starts moving down. Divergence. So you see what's happened from there. The plunge has been pretty substantial. I want to show you a 5-day chart on this guy. 5-day chart, we see the same thing, making higher highs as we should. And over here in Q2, we can see that divergence that occurred there. Here's a 1-day chart, and the 1-day chart over here we have our divergence, and here's 15-minute chart. There's our top. Here's our negative divergence, and finally we have a 5-minute chart, which is showing a little bit of accumulation that's happening down in this area. One final thing, we're going to take a look at a 3-day chart of RSI, and RSI is down here in the bottom. It's the red indicator. Notice again, as we're making a top, we have a negative divergence over here in RSI. And also note on this MACD heat map, the yellow, the green, and the blue all either buy or hold. As far as actually these are short and hold. So it looks like we've got a lot more downside in that. And finally, our 1-day chart. And on this 1-day chart, you can really kind of just dial it in and see where you could have like swing traders here going short, holding in here, and covering their short over here. Again, going short here, holding here, covering, and now it looks like we got a little long bounce brewing over here. So that's XLE Energy Complex. Maybe we got a bounce coming in this, but ultimately if we look at this 5-day chart again, there's a lot more downside here. I think we could be looking at something around $25. We're at $47 now. So that's it for tonight. My name is Brant from TradeGuild.net, trade with a hyphen guild.net. Come on by, check out our links to Warden and Telechart. If you sign up off my webpage, I'm an affiliate, so use my links and then give me an email and I'll set you up with these indicators and help you learn how to use them. So that's it for tonight. Thanks for listening. Brent from TradeGuild.net.